rika ele murena kawena rika ema ratswarana Waar die wilgers welig spruit, doringboom sy skadu sprei, soos ons groei in kundigheid, mag U ons lei. Sien ons hoe hier lei met die hand, laat U sien rus oor ons land. Strong streams united flow, Africa stands proud and tall. As we learn, we trust, we know God is in control. Bless us, O Lord, guide us with grace. May Northwest be blessed always. Bless us, O Lord, seal ons hier. Ore Jehovah Morena, seal ons, bless us, O Lord.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. You may be seated.
Good morning, everyone. Good evening. I'm still at the morning. I will open this special event for us with scripture and prayer. After the prayer, while I'm in front, I will seize the opportunity to just share 2 or 3 sentences with you on a more personal level about Prof. Absalom, our special guest, or the main guy here tonight, and then Professor Franz Bob will do the official welcome and introduction. So I'm just going to read 2 or 3 verses from Philippians chapter 2 and chapter 4. From Philippians chapter 2, do nothing from selfish ambition or conceit, but in humility. Count others more significant than yourselves, and let each of you look not only to his own interest, but also to the interest of others. And then from Philippians 4, finally, brothers, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just and pure, whatever is commendable, if there is any excellence, if there is anything worthy of praise, think about these things. What you have learned and received and heard and seen in me, practice these things, and the God of peace will be with you. Let's close our eyes. Dear God, help us to live in dependence on you and in unity with others. May we never cease to rejoice in you all the days of our lives. Amen. So tonight you will hear a lot about Prof. Absalom's academic achievements, and whenever I get this opportunity to also speak and be here in front at an event like this, I like to try to share just a few sentences on a more personal level to introduce the candidate also on another level than just the academic one that you will hear a lot of tonight. So I just want to say a few things about Prof. Absalom, to add some thoughts about him as a person. Prof. Absalom is a very humble person. He has high expectations for himself as well as others, but he is also caring, and he looks not only after his own interests, but also the interests of others. He is very passionate about his work. And then something that I really want to share today that he maybe not even realize is that he has this wonderful laugh. And at times we can hear him in the hallway, even to most of the officers. And although he probably does not know this, hearing that laugh has lightened my day more than once. Thank you, Prof. Absalom.
Thank you, Estelle, for that very special opening for us. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Francois van der Westhuizen, and I'm here standing on behalf of Prof. David Modisi, the Executive Dean of the faculty. And it's my great honor and pleasure to do the welcome and introduction of Prof. Absalom Ezugwu tonight. This is our last inaugural, and it is a special one as well. So we are very happy to be here. And I would like to first welcome the following distinguished guests and functionaries present tonight. Professor Darryl Balia, the Deputy Vice-Chancellor, Information Technology and the Potchefstroom Campus Operations, as the main functionary tonight. Thanks, Prof. Darryl, again for hosting us here tonight. Prof. Lebo Katata Seru, she's the Acting Deputy Dean for Assigned Functions in our faculty. Professor Henny Goede, he's the Executive Dean for the Faculty of Theology. It's also nice to have you, somebody from another faculty, here tonight. And you also know Prof. Absalom as well. Then we have a number of directors here in the faculty. Prof. Estelle Taylor, who you already saw now. Prof. Rolien Goede, sitting over there. And Prof. Japie Greef. Where is Prof. Japie Greef? It might be your last one. But thanks for you also being here, traveling all the way from Pretoria or Vanderbilt Park. Perhaps that way around. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Japie, for being here. And then distinguished guests in the procession, all of you here, and in attendance from the faculty elsewhere, sitting here, and the rest of the university. I know there's some guests from the rest of the university, not in our faculty here also. So thanks for you all for attending in your role in the formalities here tonight, and a warm welcome to you. We're all very excited to be here. And a special welcome, Prof. Absalom. This is your evening. A special evening that you all recognize tonight, and we are all very happy to share this moment with you. But this is not only evening for formalities, which you already heard from Prof. Estelle's talk there. This is also an opportunity where Prof. Absalom can tell his friends and other colleagues and his family members what his expertise is about. So this is a personal event as well. And then also for all of us, formalities and friends and everyone else, to celebrate this evening with you. So this is a diverse type of function that we are having here. Therefore, he invited a number of his family and friends here tonight, and he asked me that I welcome those here tonight, and I think there's online also a number of people here. So first of all, I would like to welcome your wife, Joy. Can I just see where she is? Is she attending somewhere? Can I just see Joy? Can you just raise your hand? She's on her way. Okay, but in her absence, she'll be here, and your three children, Ethan, Ariel, and Amanda Ezugwu. So we welcome them. We'll see them later tonight. But a special welcome to them. They would know what you went through to be here tonight. Then there are a number of colleagues from other universities, that you obviously have worked with in the past. And excuse me if I get your name incorrect. Dr. Michael Olusanya from Salt Lake University, Dr. Jacob Ikutun, Durban University of Technology, Dr. Ulumuyiwa Otegbeye from Wits University, Dr. Chinedu Izuchukwu from Wits University as well, Dr. Abiodun Ikutun from Durban University of Technology, Dr. Ruth Olusanya from University of Zululand, Professor Forsten Habyarimana from University of KwaZulu-Natal. He's online joining us, and also online Professor Fortune Masamba from the UKZN, both of them online. So a warm welcome to those special guests here tonight. So to continue the formalities, that's why I'm here really, is that I should mention that this is a very special evening where we as a faculty and university confer the highest academic recognition to one of our colleagues, friend and family member. And so, Mr. Deputy Vice-Chancellor, without further delay, ladies and gentlemen, also with this, I would like to call Professor Absalom over here to introduce him to you by reading his biography. You can just stand there for us, please. So I'm reading from the biography of Prof. Absalom. So Absalom Ezugwu, born in 1979 to Mr. Pius, late Mr. Pius and Mrs. Susanna Ezugwu, completed his secondary education in 1998 at Government Secondary School Bomo in Zaria, northern Nigeria. Absalom earned a BSc Honours in Mathematics with Computer Science in 2007 from Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria, followed by his National Youth Service in 2009. He completed his MSc in Computer Science in 2011 under Professor S.B. Junaidu, focusing on parallel algorithms for rotrix theory, a specialized matrix algebra with applications in math and engineering. In 2015, Absalom earned his PhD in Computer Science from Abu, focusing on intelligent adaptive scheduling for distributed systems using neural networks under the guidance of Professor Sahalu Junaidu, Professor Mark Edward Frinku, and Professor Sayed Buhari. His PhD research made impactful contributions to AI-driven solutions for distributed computing, leading to 8 journal articles and 3 conference papers. In 2012, looking at his career now, Absalom began his lecturing career at the Federal University, Lafia, Nigeria, where he was appointed as a lecturer too. He held key roles, including departmental coordinator and head of the Department of Computer Science from 2013 to 2016. In July 2016, Absalom began a postdoctoral fellowship at the University of KwaZulu-Natal, where he became known for his prolific research in applied AI and optimization. Mentored by the late Professor Aderemi Adewumi, he further developed his expertise. In 2018, he received postdoctoral offers from the University of South Africa and the University of Pretoria, choosing the latter to work with Professor Andries P. Engelbrecht, who was an AA1 NRF-rated researcher. Good choice. Later that year, he accepted a senior lecturer position at UKZN, where he founded and led the Computational Intelligence Research Group, mentoring numerous postgraduate students in cutting-edge research. He was appointed as the academic leader of teaching and learning in the School of Mathematics, Statistics and Computer Science there. In his role, he played instrumental roles in various school and college committees, contributing to academic governance and the advancements of teaching and learning initiatives within the institution. Absalom resigned from the UKZN as an associate professor in December in 2022. In January 2023, Absalom was employed as a full professor in computer science at the School of Computer Science and Information Systems at this university, Northwest University, on the Potchefstroom campus, where he now continues to contribute to the academic community through teaching, research, and the supervision of postgrad students. He is currently a member of several professional organizations, including the Association of Computing Machinery, the Institute for Electrical and Electronics Engineers, and the Italian Association of Artificial Intelligence. Absalom has an impressive scholarly record with over 150 academic articles published in top journals and conferences, accumulating over 7,000 citations with an impressive H-index of 41. As a sole supervisor, he has successfully mentored 7 doctoral and 15 master's students to completion. He has also co-supervised several postgraduate students with colleagues from institutions such as UKZN, WITS, and SPU. Absalom has collaborated with numerous prominent international researchers from countries including Australia, Romania, Saudi Arabia, Mexico, China, Taiwan, Jordan, Poland, Nigeria, and India, all the continents. These collaborations focused and shared research interests and involve student mentorships, securing grants, and co-authoring research publications. Lastly, Absalom is a research fellow at both the University of WITS Witwatersrand Johannesburg, and the West University of Timisoara in Romania. So finally, and hot off the press, on Monday we received the news that Professor Absalom received his first, an impressive C1 NRF rating. I had to add that.
So I just want to confirm if my slide is on. Is it on? Right, okay. Yes. Good evening, everyone. And I've been blown out by the introduction, especially from my school director. I'm not sure if I'm that humble, but I'll try my possible best to be humble enough today. I'm really grateful. I'm really grateful to be here this evening and seeing all the faces who have come to cheer me up. I am really very, very happy that everyone is here to celebrate with me and my family. Today I would just be sharing my research career journey with everyone here and those who are online. And the topic of my discussion today would be computational intelligence, a catalyst for addressing Africa's pervasive challenges. So, based on the title, I would definitely expatiate further on what this is all about and how I arrive at this unique title for my inaugural address today. I'm also happy that my family are here. I was worried that they will not be coming. Okay. So, the outline for my discussion today would be introduction to what I've been doing, and this would entail just a brief overview of my personal journey and some of the problems and challenges that we have been addressing between me and my students, my postgraduate students. Then I would also be discussing, briefly on some of the tools that I was mentored on, and I've been applying it to actually mentor my students and solve real-world problems, especially within the African continent. Concrete examples would definitely be just briefly highlighting some of those, research products that we have been showcasing within the research community. And finally, I would be giving a reflection on future research goal as it pertains to what I really would want to do next in my career. So just a general disclaimer to say that most of the things that I'll be explaining and discussing are just my own personal view. Some might pick offense, apology to that, and it's just to say that out of my passion for my research area, I would definitely be crafting some of those explanations as we move on. So please, the disclaimer is well acknowledged here. So I'm here simply because of some people who have contributed in my life, in my research, and in allowing me to grow. So, first, all glory, honor, and praise to the Almighty God, who has actually presented a very unique opportunity for me living in Nigeria, coming to South Africa, and exploring a lot of fallow ground with vast opportunity. Now, to the team of my line managers, Prof. Estelle Taylor, thank you sincerely for your guidance and unconditional support during this tiring and bothersome preparation for my inaugural address. It was through your guidance that I have come to truly understand the profound difference between a great teacher, and indeed you are a great teacher, and those who merely aspire to be one. Your exceptional willingness to assist others truly sets you apart from everyone that I've met in my life, and I'm really grateful for that. Prof. Rowling, you've taken me around the world, and word cannot really express how I feel about that. I'm grateful, and I sincerely appreciate you from the depth of my heart. I'm grateful. My director, as I call you, and I will always call you, even though you are leaving me, thank you deeply for creating countless opportunity for my growth. You've introduced me to BRICS and NITEX, which is a unique opportunity for me. One thing is clear, that your humility has been a priceless lesson, and I am truly grateful for all I have learned from you. The Driven family, Prof. Lanet and Gunther, thank you for imparting in me the true essence of life. I appreciate you for that. Prof. Marika and Dr. Annette, I deeply appreciate your kindness and approachable leadership style. You're always available for me when I needed help. I'm grateful. Emma, I'm not sure if I should be saying this, but I'm really grateful. Thank you. Without you, I don't think today would have happened together with Prof. Estelle. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. To the School of Computer Science and Information System, my colleagues, I can't really begin to call names. I cherish all the love, the care that is so unique to me. I am really grateful for everything that you or everyone is impacting in my life. I also want to extend my heartfelt thanks for those colleagues who are coming from other schools within the university and from other institutions. Those who are present here and those who are also watching online. I am deeply grateful for all this. This are my family. I was told that I'm allowed to cry if I want to cry, and I was also told that I should dance if I want to dance, just like the way David in the Bible did. But let me keep that for the later stage. So, on the far right is my mom, Susan, as I call her, but the traditional name is Susanna. Then below is my dad, who is late now, who passed away last year in 2023. Above is my big sister, Blessing. In the middle is my two younger brother, and this is our last daughter, Abigail, and this is my big bros. He's called Genesis. They've supported me through thick and thin, and we watched each other's back in difficult times, which I can't deny the fact that it has really been very, very rough for me growing up in northern Nigeria. I'm here simply because of God's grace. Yes, they said if you've seen further than others, it's simply because someone has lifted you up. I think that saying is true for me. I have really, over the time, stood on the shoulder of several giants who have shown me how bright the future can actually be, they've never doubted me in any way, despite all my shortcomings. They've trusted me, they believed in me, and these are people who are coming from different continents across the world. Prof. S.B. Janedu was my MSc supervisor, as he was rightly introduced. He also mentored me in my PhD. It's such an exceptional, intelligent human being that I've ever seen. Prof. Frinku, my co-supervisor, PhD supervisor from Romania, though he mentored me while he was with the University of Southern California in the US. So dedicated, he has shown me the world, allowed me to participate in different conferences across the world. Said Buhari was also my third PhD supervisor. I'm really grateful for all these giants. My PhD mentors, my post-PhD mentors, I have Professor Obiniyi, Professor Aderemi, who is late now, who also brought me to South Africa. But before coming to South Africa, I had other opportunity of going to Poland to also do my to do a postdoc, but I just started to come to South Africa to do my postdoc simply because of his humility and the kind of person he is. Then Prof, I might not get the name, I battle with his name, Engibret, that's the way I call him. Prof. Engibret, who is such a very remarkable fellow that each time I really want to discuss with him, I'm scared to confront him, or even when I want to walk into his office, I would definitely have to do the sign of cross before going in. He's such a very critical human being. And he, in particular, has taught me a lot in life. And even during my NRF application last year, he mentored me. I was going back and forth with him. I was guiding me through all that. I'm really grateful for all these giants who have really assisted me. And in my early stage, after my secondary school, I heard about Professor Philip Emeagwali on the news. I know Emeagwali is such a very remarkable computer scientist. I read, and I'm reading this verbatim, that he was someone who is referred to as among the fathers of the internet. He combined mathematical and computing expertise to enhance oil extraction method, creating a formula that powered 65,000 processors to perform 3.1 million calculations per second in 1989. Obviously, I heard about him in around 1998 after I completed my secondary school. And he became somebody I looked onto. I've never met him, I've never seen him. It became, just because of this thing that his profile, he became my superhero, and I just made up my mind that I want to be like him, or I even want to be better than him. But unfortunately, I have not gotten to that level. This is somebody who, pushed me towards becoming a computer scientist. And often at times, when I meet people anywhere I go, I would be asked, what do you do for a living? What's your profession? I said, okay, I'm a computer scientist. So what does that mean? To everyone here, this can be, this can actually have a different meaning to all of us here. So a computer scientist, I see that as someone who is skilled professional with expertise in algorithm design, programming, software development, and the application of machine learning and data-driven models to effectively solve complex and challenging real-world problems. And this is exactly who I am. And this is exactly what makes me unique, because I'm able to combine my mathematical background and the computer science foundation background that I have to do a lot of magic, which I'll definitely be sharing with us in the course of this presentation. So I'm just here to first introduce us to, what is the rationale behind my research over the years. So growing up in northern Nigeria, I've seen the other side of life, where poverty actually drives everywhere you go. Poverty drives, And I've seen the face of poverty. I've also traveled across different African continents, more than 6 African countries, to understand the harsh reality of how teens are in that area. So, indeed, Africa's progress has long been hindered. We all know this, by poverty, governmental issues, corruption, inadequate infrastructures, crime drives everywhere. There are healthcare challenges, food insecurity. And when it comes to what we are blessed with in terms of natural resources, it's a cost to us, right? And I strongly believe that these are lingering challenges that, as a computer scientist, I should be able to make meaningful impacts. Ideally, we are blessed as Africans. We have everything that any part of the world, especially most advanced country, would need, right? But yet we are driving in abject poverty, which ideally shouldn't be the case. So if you look at on the right-hand side, this is generally how farming is being done in most African countries. I did this myself with my parents. Right? I did this with my parents. Some of the places we live is exactly as the picture below. It's really disheartening to me. And this is exactly what I've seen, and I tried in most cases to say, okay, how can I contribute to all this problem? And this is exactly where my research is focused. I have an area which is very, very interesting, and that area is my area of specialization, which is computational intelligence. And this basically speaks to artificial intelligence, which most of us is a buzzword for the 21st century. And this is our day and age. I don't think there's anyone who can tell me that you've not heard of artificial intelligence and how AI is actually driving some of the critical sectors in most developed countries. And why not Africa? This is exactly the question I'm asking myself. I usually crack a joke in most places where I go, where I would tell, I said, okay, assuming now you are stuck and you want to make, you are stuck, your car is bad and you want to rush back home, and you ordered for Uber or Bolt. And here you go, the car comes, there is no driver inside the car. And the only thing you could hear is a message saying, please hump in, I'll be your driver for the next few minutes. Believe me, a lot of us here would not venture into that car. Sincerely speaking, gospel truth, a lot of us will not venture into that. But the world has actually evolved. It simply tells the truth that we are far left behind. How do we bridge that gap? Now, with computational intelligence, it's just a combination of different computational model, right? And also this has to do with drawing inspiration from nature, how nature is able to solve a lot of challenging issues that unfold as we move on. Now, there are two great tools with computational intelligence, and that has to do with swarm intelligence, machine learning, or artificial intelligence. And this is so dear to my heart that even when I'm sleeping, I'm thinking of all these tools that I could actually utilize. So computational intelligence has a lot of potential. And I tagged it as a catalyst which can actually accelerate change in most critical economic sector, especially with the African scenario. Now, there are a lot of problems that we can actually solve with computational intelligence, or AI, in quote, right? So be it in terms of healthcare challenges, with your computational intelligence, we are able to solve and address a lot of healthcare issues that ideally we cannot handle using our traditional research method. So these are new era where we can actually evolve with all this new technology. So yes, computational intelligence can actually be an excellent catalyst that can boost our productivity in terms of development. So computational intelligence has a lot of application, and I have applied this to solve a lot of challenging problems. Here, I've just shared some of the critical problems that we have been addressing with my students in terms of breast cancer early stage diagnosis. Remember I said traditional method cannot address most of these challenges that we have now, and that's the reason why most advanced countries have gone far from us. It's simply because we still rely on this classical or traditional method to still treat this. And healthcare is actually treating cancer in Africa is one of the most challenging things because of the costs that is involved. I've also done a lot of research in terms of lung cancer, early stage diagnosis. In terms of smart traffic management, I've also done a lot of research there. Smart farming, in terms of smart agricultural farming, I've also done a lot of that. And I believe that there is so many of these lingering issues in Africa that we can apply our knowledge of artificial intelligence to actually solve. And the only thing that it takes is just what? Skills, which I believe we have. Yes, I'm still new in the academic arena. Prof still used to tell me, Absalom, you can't complain. Some of us have been here for more than 30 years. And here you are, you're not grateful. So, based on Scopus and Web of Science listing, most of my journal and conference publication, which is above 150, focus in the following area. Optimization, that's my first field. And I came into this during my postdoc. I spent 2 years working on this, and I've published a lot of classical articles and research breakthrough. I've had a lot of research breakthrough with this. Machine learning is another area that is so dear to my heart. And I've also done a lot of work on inventory management, also applying my sound knowledge in optimization. So optimization is multidisciplinary in nature, and it's cut across both maths and statistics. This is my passion as well. I love this. So on the right-hand side is just, I'm not sure where I am at this stage now, but the last time I was asked to check this, I think my citation is above 7,000, and with H-index of 41. I'm not sharing, it's not just about the figure or the number, but it's about how do your colleagues, the research community, how do they perceive what you do as a researcher? Are you making impact in the scientific community? And I think I say I'm trying my best. Like I would always say, I'm trying my best on that. So just to have a glimpse of how computational intelligence research is driving across other African countries and institutions within the continent. I had the privilege of actually collaborating with one of the renowned researchers in this area of bibliometric analysis, where in 2002, we conducted a critical review study to just have a glimpse of what is going on within my field of research. And to my greatest surprise, a lot is not really happening in this area, right? A lot is not really. Africa, I'm not sure what is the problem, but we really need to do more. So if you look at these statistics here of the institutions that are driving in machine learning research or AI research, it's really surprising that it's only 2 countries out of 54 countries in Africa that is making headway. And these countries are South Africa and Egypt, just with one outlier, which is Tunisia, just 1 or 2 institution-based. So it tells you that we need to actually invest more on the... South Africa is driving simply because there is funding, they have access to the Western world, collaboration is there. And government is also supporting some of these research outlets that is going on here, right? So out of 54 countries, we only have 2 countries that are actually deriving from this. So it gives you a clear picture of where I am and what's impact. So when I say I'm contributing and I'm trying my best, you should really definitely understand that I'm really doing my best in this direction. In terms of research recognition and editorial activity, well, I was told to share my research journey. Prof, still, I think I'm right with that. Awesome. So, in line with that, I think, based on my contribution, at UKZN, in 2021 and 2022, consecutively, I was listed among the 30 top researchers. I think the last one was, I was the 6th fellow there in UKZN, and the criteria for this assessment is there. In terms of, global ranking in my own area of research, which is artificial intelligence, I'm also classified among the top 2% scientists in artificial intelligence. And I think this is good for me because, like I said, I am not anywhere close to most people in the university. I'm just a new arrival when it comes to this issue. In terms of editorial activities, currently I'm an associate editor of Connection Science, published by Taylor and Francis. I'm also an academic editor, Plus One journal. These are the one that I am presently. I also get involved in other editorial activities in other journals, but these are the one that I really have invested a lot of time trying to see what I can do. In terms of guest editorialship, I've served as a guest editor in applied science, mobile information systems, and mathematics, and also many more. I've consistently been engaged in review activity. In fact, more than 50 plus Scopus and Web of Science Traditional Journal normally would send me review requests on a daily basis, which is also what is taking most of my time. This is just an overview of my research area that I have been conducting some of the tasks with my students. And this area include medical image analysis, chatbot for health and industry applications, smart home automation and pothole detection, optimization, modeling and scheduling, health care, and smart farming. And each of these nodes clearly indicates the area that I've specialized and also made meaningful contribution. And the core of it is that I and my students are able to build models that we can now refer as foundation models, computational intelligence foundation model that we can now apply to solve different category of issues that we have. As rightfully introduced at the early stage, I've graduated 7 PhD students, sole supervision. I'm not proud of that. Ideally, I should be collaborating with my colleagues more. And these PhD students cut across different African countries. I've mentored students from Zimbabwe, I've mentored students from Uganda, Kenya, Nigeria, Sudan, and the likes of them. So these students are coming from different African countries, and also South Africa. Then I have also graduated 15 master students, and with the rest who are 21, who are also in the pipeline of actually graduating now. And some of these are from other universities as well. So I started here in 2023, but I would give more enlightenment on that, what I've actually done. So in terms of my research tool, yes, I try to learn from nature, right? Nature has a very unique way of healing itself whenever there is a disaster. And that's exactly what I've learned, how there are different patterns that are inherent in nature. And I try to use my third eyes, my imagination, to actually look at those hidden patterns and try to convert each of those hidden patterns using my mathematical skills and now translate them into into mathematical model. So this is exactly what I learned, or I observe this and try to convert it into modeling task, and now subsequently use that. So it's from understanding how nature works and function, and now translating that, those inherent pattern, into using a mathematical equation, developing mathematical model or governing equation, and translating that or converting that governing equation into computational model. And that computational model is now what I would now use as my basis for optimization tasks. So each of these, I promise never to bug anyone with equations or formula, right? Obviously, my wife wouldn't understand if I say x plus x is equals to 1. It might be difficult for her to make meaning out of that. And I also believe that there are a lot of people who wouldn't find any fancy in mathematical equations. So I try to keep it very simple. Another area is deep learning, or machine learning in general. And based on this, I've applied so there is this very strong synergy between optimization and machine learning. Optimization actually adds additional layer of flavor in terms of decision-making process, right? So pulling optimization into machine learning or deep learning, we're able to perform a lot of magic. That definitely I'll be sharing very soon. So all we do here is to build from scratch machine learning model or deep learning model or AI model, and now perform training consistently. And that's exactly what we do. Most of the training can take us up to a month or more than that. Prof. Roland, thanks for the tools that you also been providing for us. So we do this model, we train it several times, and then we just make sure that the model is able to learn and generalize. And once we have a model that is able to generalize, up we go. We apply it in the targeted problem that we have in mind to solve. In terms of disseminating our research work, so basically there are 3 phases to what we do in terms of research work. So there is ideation phase, where we learn from nature and conceptualize idea, and also try to look at problems that I've already highlighted. That's a very critical thing in Africa. So there is the ideation phase. There is then, after the ideation phase, we try to implement this. We try to implement models that can be able to solve the problem that we've identified, right? And this proof of concept, in most cases, we do publish it to just get an understanding of how our colleagues or research community would react to that, and how many of them are willing to actually expand on what we've created as our own idea. And the final bus stop for us is the prototype, where we have this model that we believe can now be applied into the industry or academia or whatever place that we need to do that. So in terms of conveyances of our research, so what we do basically is to send our work to peer-reviewed journals and publish a lot of them there. Conferences and workshops, I've done a lot of that in my life, thanks to Prof. Mark Frinkle, who actually introduced me to all these things. Then in terms of technical report, like my postdoc, this is also how we are able to package and present our research, which obviously I believe is exactly what everyone does here. In terms of some of the examples that I want to share with everyone here, I would be very, very brief, and I promise not to make anything very complicated, right? So in terms of my research, a personal problem, right? So this basically shows that I am an African, and I need to take the lead. Instead of just complaining that, the Western countries are not looking after us. It's not their responsibility to take care of us, or it's not their responsibility to solve our problem in most cases. We often attempt to dwell in our inherent challenges. We don't look at the bigger picture of how we can actually contribute. right? So this is just a tip of an iceberg of what I've been doing in the health care sector. So basically this has to do with diabetes that also affects the eye. And it's called diabetic retinopathy. And this basically has to do with a lot of mishap, complexity that pertains to the retinal blood vessels. And what we do in most cases is to find a way of segmenting these blood vessels that connects every nerve in our eye, especially the retina, right? So if you look at, this is a normal view where you can actually observe a lot of things, right? But not every one of us is fortunate. And these days, majority of us are dying from diabetes without even knowing it. Diabetes doesn't really it doesn't only affect your body, it also affects your eyes. So when your vision is becoming not too clear, you need to actually check yourself. And what we do here, we don't treat, we only try to assist the expert in this area. We try to assist the expert by dictating these issues at the early stage. So instead of using your CT scan images, turning around 360 or twisting in any way you want, as most experts will do, all we need to do is to just supply or provide these images to our model, and the model is able to tell us that this is where the defect is, and we are able to segment that and make recommendations. We don't treat. I don't want to be misjudged in that, but I'm not a medical doctor. We don't we don't treat such things. So we have actually provided a lot of assistance in this regard, which to me are very useful, and we have received a lot of recognition from the scientific community, and that is obvious in our citation. I've published a lot of articles and presented a lot of conference papers and workshops on this area of research. And here is another aspect of what we do in terms of how do we also take care of our homes, in terms of security, in terms of also making our home very smart, and we're heading towards that. So we've done a lot of work in smart home automation, and we also have several papers in this. And this work was also very relevant during COVID-19, where you have to stay indoor, and for some of us who have elderly ones at home, it's very, very difficult or very, very challenging trying to manage your elderly one who can't just stand there and walk around, turn off the light, or turn off the blind, or curtains and whatever, or open the garage door. So we, on our own, built model from scratch that are able to at least assist in that regard. And this research is actually very, very unique to me, that in most cases, computer scientists we don't build things like engineers do, but we actually took this bold step to develop models. And you could see a lot of gadgets here that we used in building this, just to make sure that our home is smart enough where you can remotely control your home. I'm not talking about close proximity in this case. You can be anywhere within the country or outside the country, and you are able to at least on TV and speak to your refrigerator. And you're able to see, are you running out of grocery and stuff like that. And I'm telling you firsthand that this was the research that my PhD and I actually investigated, and we find that it's possible for you to use machine learning to address these challenges, which to us is a miracle, but to the Western world, it's something that has become norm to them. Another area that we've actually contributed is in smart agriculture, crop disease classification. And I have my master's student, Stephanie Baum, who has worked in this area. And what I learned is that if you listen very carefully to nature, you can pick one or two things that could provide solution in the way we deal with nature itself, right? So through this research, I was able to understand that you can detect and differentiate between a healthy plant at early stage, which is very difficult for you to using your bare eyes to understand that this plant is not healthy from a healthy one, through listening very well to the sound that the leaf make, or the sound that the plant itself make, either a rustling sound or just the normal echoing sound. And we're able to apply machine learning or deep learning model to actually extract those hidden patterns from the sound that a healthy plant is able to project and an unhealthy plant is able to project. And we're able to classify that and to show how diseases or plant pathogens grow from plant nursery bed to the stage of maturity. And this is something very, very interesting, because Africa is actually passing through a very critical stage in terms of agricultural, in the agricultural sector, where you can't deny the fact that there is hunger in Africa. There is hunger. Like I said, even though we are blessed, but that we don't see that reflection anywhere. Then one of the projects that I was opportune to work with my student as well is the critical issue that we have in our country, which is the dilapidation of infrastructure, especially in the road, our road system. So this is a pothole alert system, and we're able to come up with a model that at least is able to indicate whether our road is healthy or the road is not healthy, in terms of whether there is a pothole or there is a crack or there is a speed bump. In terms of pothole and speed bump, so the model is able to proactively alert the driver to say, please, you have to take it, proceed with caution, or take alternative route, depending on the depth of the pothole that is there. But it's not only about alerting the driver. It's also about maintaining the condition of our road, putting them in a very healthy stage, where at least the model is able to tell that there is a crack in this location. And this is the coordinate. It's able to pick the coordinate and now make subsequent projection and advice to the road maintenance agency to say, look, if you don't look after this road at this time, there might be a problem in 2 weeks, months, or years to come. So please take a proactive measure and try to see what you can do on that. So this is just to tell you that this was built in a real time framework. Then these are all the things that we have actually, and there are so many of them, right? So these are the simplified version that I believe that most of us who are here that are not experts who can actually comprehend. So I wouldn't want to start going into detail of, what's really we've been doing and building that might look very complex to the guests that we have here. So these are also some of the work that I have done with my master's student as well. I will introduce each of these students at the later stage. But it's just to give us an understanding that we've been doing a lot. In computer science, we use the word crazy advancement or crazy technology. So these things that we're building. So with these projects now, we try to just create an online timetable scheduling for passengers or commuters and drivers alike, or managers of those buses. I've lived in KZN, and I know how difficult it is for me to come out, if I'm not mobile, for me to come out and wait for 30 minutes or more than that, simply because I've missed the timing of the bus. And based on that ground, I've missed the bus, and I'm standing on the bus stand waiting for when next the bus will come. I don't have any idea the route. I don't have any idea of the time. And lo and behold, I get mocked by a passersby who asked me to hand over my phone. This is first-hand experience. If I had known the exact time, the schedule, and most of those things, I wouldn't just randomly walk and wait for that long period of time when I know my life is in danger. So we did this work. Then, yes, I was, in this case, tested in real time by the University of KwaZulu-Natal to say, I need to build a lab schedule. We have physics lab, computer science lab, we have geography lab, chemistry lab, and I was asked to build a scheduling using my idea of optimization to optimize how students can actually be allocated in real time, especially during COVID-19, where we have to observe social distancing and the equipment that we have can only accommodate, the venue also can only accommodate a certain number of students. I was asked to come up with this schedule, which is even more challenging than the university timetable. And this has to do with the whole college, including sciences, engineering, and life sciences. I went to work with my postdoc student, and we were able to actually assist the university in building this lab venue scheduling that is currently in use at the University of KwaZulu-Natal. So our output doesn't really end online in terms of publication and conference presentation. We also are making meaningful impacts within the university community. Yes, in terms of the future. So with my knowledge of artificial intelligence, I think Africa is the future of AI. There are a lot of incentives, there are a lot of skills, there are a lot of talents that we have in Africa. But I can actually tell you that the future of artificial intelligence is right here in Africa, because there's a lot of interesting things that one can actually do. Just here, if we look at it, AI research, to be fair, I mean, it's not that we're saying, why is it always happening with the Western or the global North? Why not the global South, right? We can't stop anyone from growing. But the thing is, if you look at this table, for example, in terms of the articles that are published in AI, a lot of languages are underrepresented. My home language, my mother tongue, which is Hausa, I grew up in northern Nigeria, and they speak Hausa. Hausa has above 70 million speakers, which is far more than South African population. Right? I'm not saying this to prove a point, but it's just to give you a clue of, what I also believe that with all this that we have in place, with all the infrastructure, with all the human resources that we have in Africa, we can actually change our course towards a positive, moving towards positive direction. And so currently I'm working with known for that. We are very good at consuming technologies. Complain when we don't get what we want from the product, right? And I'm saying, how do we change this course? How do we, introduce some models that would be able to inject our cultural perspective into the way we relate with artificial intelligence? For example, ChatGPT or large language model, everybody's using that. But does it speak to us in the way we see life, right? In the context in which we see life, does this large language model speak to us in that way? What I'm saying is that, yes, we can get this model, but let's train the model to understand the way we do things in Africa. Our cultural value needs to be part and parcel of the way AI technology relates with us and the way we relate with artificial intelligence at the end of the day. So these are the students that I've mentored so far. And these are students coming from different African countries. I've really highlighted on that. These are very smart and intelligent students who have also made me who I am, who have also placed me on a global stage, that I am now being ranked as among the top 2% in artificial intelligence. So when you ask me of my ranking, somebody was asking me, you were ranked where, under what are you ranked on? I say, okay. So this also makes a lot of sense. And each of them I've worked closely with them. And where I was coming from in the University of KwaZulu-Natal, the lab used to be my office. So first thing in the morning, go straight to the lab, discuss with my students. We address every problem that arises. And in most cases, I would sit on the desk and would also be coding just to show that this is exactly how this is supposed to be done. It's not difficult. So when you complain that something is difficult, I lead by example. Right? And I believe this is how supervision should be. So I have a personal relationship with each and every one of these students that are here. Yes, this year I had the privilege of graduating 2 PhD students from Northwest University. Prof. Rolling, I'm sorry I hid this from you. And yeah, so I have 2 PhD and 1 master student. Then in the same year here, I was fortunate to graduate 2 master students. I think I'm trying, like I would always say. And I'm happy with this record so far. So this is Tenan from Sudan, and this is Wellington from Zimbabwe. Ampilele is a South African citizen. Stephanie is also a South African citizen. And Melvin is also a South African citizen. And one thing I'm proud of is to say that all of these students are well placed. And each time I receive a recommendation email to say, please, can you recommend, can we employ these students? I mean, this is what makes my day in most cases. I have 2 students that I mentored in 2002 who are currently employed by the University of Arizona. I'm not bluffing, and I'm telling you the truth. That when I look at that, I say, wow, this is really good. And each of these posts that I have currently somebody who I mentored in 2001, that is the dean of a faculty, right? And most of them are currently employed within South Africa and outside South Africa. And I really can say that at least I'm trying and I'm doing my best with that. 90% of my postgraduate students, especially the master's clusters, are black South Africans. 90% of them are black South Africans. I remember when I was being interviewed at UKZN, they said, look, how can I contribute towards the development of these individuals? And I said, I will try my best. And I'm doing that at this stage. These are the postdocs that I've mentored to completion so far. And each of these on their own are people who have actually done a lot of work with me. Right? I also have a personal relationship with every one of them. Dr. Olaide is currently employed in UK, where he's lecturing there. Dr. Ikotun is here. Dr. Olumeyiwa is also here. Dr. Sylvester is part and parcel of us here at Northwest University as a postdoc. Courtesy of Prof. Rolling. Thanks for that effort. Yes. Again, I was asked, I should cry, I shouldn't cry. But I won't, I promise you I wouldn't cry. These are my family that God has blessed me with. And parts of the future is for me to learn from these kids. And one of the greatest teachers that I've ever had, not my mom, but my wife, who in most cases bossy me around, tell me what to do and when not to do, how to arrange my stuff and how not to arrange my stuff. But I'm grateful with that because at least that has put me in a state of orderliness. And a woman has a way of bringing orderliness at home. And in your they tend to bring stability in your life. And I'm really grateful for my wife, Joy. And I appreciate you very well. So, Sorry, let me take water. To my kids, so I have Ethan, I have Ariel, I have Amanda. Yes, at times the kids can be very naughty and they want to drive you crazy. But in the process, you tend to learn a lot of things from them as well. And I've learned a lot being a dad. Not everyone has that opportunity. I'm blessed, and I really appreciate God for this. And I'm still learning from them. They tend to teach me a lot. And some of I've had the opportunity of developing, I think, 5 swarm intelligence algorithms. And most of those inspiration actually came from them discussing about the characters they learned from a cartoon. And the dwarf mongoose algorithm is one of it. Ethan taught me how smart dwarf mongoose can actually be. And based on that, I just thought through, conceptualized the idea, and built that model. So I'm really grateful. I'm really grateful for that. And I've been loved and cherished by most people that I've come across in my life. I've been cherished. And that love that do exist, especially in Northwest University, especially my school. Selena is here, and Linda is here. JM is also here. Rodney is here. I don't know, Prof. Tiny on his own would walk in, I'm not sure, walk in and say, Absalom, are you doing well? Are you doing well? And that keeps me going. Honestly speaking, that keeps me going in life. Nambuso, you don't have to hide your face. I didn't want to cry simply because I did the same thing in UKZN. I did the same thing in UKZN, and I promised myself, no, I wouldn't do that anymore. I wouldn't do that. But above all, I think I'm really happy where I am, and I really, Prof. Still, whoa, you are a mother. You are a mother, and you show me that, and I really appreciate you. I really appreciate you. Prof. Rolling, all I can say is thank you. Thank you. And my spiritual parent, my mom, and my mom is far away. Prof. Lalit would always come, Absalom, don't worry, it's going to be fine, and stuff like that. But above all, I thank everyone. And also, I remember I used to have one of the most intelligent human beings I've ever seen in my life, Prof. Niels. It's just my next door colleague, very intelligent. And all my colleagues at Poch Campus here, every of them are unique and very, very intelligent. They blow my mind in most cases, and I respect them for that. I think that's all for me. And yeah. I'm looking for the opportunity.
Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, staff members. Welcome to the Computational campus of the Northwest University. It is indeed an honor to have you all present, especially members of the public, to grace this occasion and to bring honor to our latest entrant to the College of Professors, at our university, Professor Absalom Ezugwu. Now, when I struggled to get my tongue around his surname, I started to think about e-filing and e-commerce and emails, and it seemed that his family name, anticipated that he would one day be talking, standing up in public and giving a lecture on computational intelligence. It's great to have a super eagle in our midst. I just need to remind him, despite all his humility, that he's not a super eagle, he's an eagle. We at Northwest are eagles. But it's great to have you all the way with your background in Nigeria. And, in some way, as I was listening to you, it seemed to me that this was more a lecture about gratitude and thankfulness, because throughout he was referencing those who helped him along this journey. And it says to us more than anything else that academic achievement is never something that you celebrate in isolation of those who were part of that journey with you. It is indeed your individual brilliance that has brought you here, but there were many along the way who have inspired you, helped you, and made it possible, for you to finally arrive. This is a very important moment in the life of an academic. Perhaps it's the pinnacle, moment, because even if you go to another university and achieve other academic, titles, etc., to become a professor, is the ultimate. And you have now done that, and it's not because we like you. Of course, the colleagues did say a lot about what a nice guy you are. When they said he's got a loud voice with a big laugh, I was expecting a big man, but but he's confirmed to us that dynamite does come in small packages. But you are here standing next to me, and we are celebrating because of the affirmation of the merit principle. More than anything else, this is a celebration of the principle of merit. You have earned your stripes. Those 150 plus publications, the research, the teaching and learning that you spoke about, the master's, doctoral students, that has made you, that has contributed to this profile that you have developed and given you the C1 rating. Your colleagues, the peers have helped you along their journey, your family. So it is a significant achievement. But as you have said, and I don't want to say too much about that, the question after this is what happens next. But you've given us very concrete examples of how you are putting, these insights, especially in soft computing or artificial intelligence, to work. And thank you for translating these lofty insights to all the lay people, including myself here. I might be responsible for AI at the Northwest University, but I don't know a fraction of the detail that you do. It's very exciting to be a professor of computational intelligence at this time in the world, because we're facing a future when intelligence, it seems, will be defined by computers and the ability of computers to communicate with us. In fact, I think intelligence, when perhaps in 10 years' time, if you use the word intelligence, your first thought is not about a person who has read X number of books or got X number of degrees. It's about a person who is able to manipulate data and use artificial intelligence, as we call it. So intelligence is being redefined. Well, even commercial companies are being redefined in terms of their use of things like computational intelligence. There was a conference, a major global conference, recently held in the US, I suppose, and many of you will know about, or you have eaten, especially when you were abroad, you've all eaten Domino's pizza, right? It's one of the most popular globally. It's like McDonald's, you know. So if you think of pizza, you would usually think of Domino's Pizza. Now the CEO of Domino's Pizza, he appears at this global conference and he says to everybody there, Domino's Pizza is a technology company. It's a technology company if you think about how the pizza gets made and how it's eventually sold, etc. In fact, now I think a large volume of their sales are done through the orders that are communicated via computers and how it is processed by data. So the point is that artificial intelligence, e-commerce, e-marketing, and all these new realities that are on our doors will inform our lives in the days and years ahead. So here at Northwest University, we have a great department or school of computer science and information systems. So it's, I said earlier, it's a great time to be part of this family that is working very hard. We have great scholars here who are tracking global developments in computer science, artificial intelligence, information systems, etc. And we as a university are taking this very seriously. So we take your inaugural lecture and the research that you are doing, and we will do our best, as you have been doing here, and illustrating to us, to translate it to the world and put it to use so that the world benefits from the great and the new insights that people like yourselves are coming up with. So congratulations, you are on the cutting edge with your research, with the colleagues you work with, and we're looking forward to you guys solving the problems, not just here in Port Ostrulum, as we call our town, but in this world with the deep insights you get. Congratulations again to you and your family, and we look forward to continuing the celebration with you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. All protocols observed. It is a great privilege to propose a vote of thanks to everyone who have witnessed this special occasion, making it the 15th and the last professorial inaugural lecture within our faculty. This is a special one, indeed. James Allen once said, "No duty is more urgent than giving thanks." Tonight, I grab this opportunity to express my sincere appreciation. On behalf of the faculty, I warmly thank Professor Absalom Ezugwu for a captivating and insightful inaugural lecture, as he emphasized the research journey of computational insightful inaugural lecture, as he emphasized the journey of computational intelligence. I just forgot the computational intelligence as a catalyst for addressing Africa's pervasive challenges. We have gained new knowledge from your research findings, Prof. And for example, you've mentioned that you've used computational models where you use them for early stage diagnosis of different types of cancer. Prof, please continue raising the NW flag. After your inspiring talk, I believe you have encouraged our students to continue working even harder in their studies. We would also like to thank your wife, Mrs. Joy, and I heard you calling her Joey, Ezugwu, and your children, Ethan, Ariel, Amanda, for their unconditional love throughout your academic journey and for selflessly sharing you with us. In addition, a special gratitude goes to your parents, the late Mr. Pius and Mrs. Susan Ezugwu, for their love, their support, and encouragement. I'm also pleased to mention our profound appreciation, as always, to the head functionary, Prof. Balia, the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Assigned Functions and Campus Operations for the Potchefstroom campus, for sharing your wisdom, as always, and presenting the certificate to Prof. Absalom. Prof. Balia, as always, your support, your presence, has anchored the significance of this event. Prof. Estelle, please accept our heartfelt appreciation for gracing this event with a prayer. I would also like to acknowledge my colleague, Prof. Francois, the Deputy Dean for Research and Innovation, for the warm words of welcome and introduction. And I also wish to record endless gratitude to Prof. Hude, the Executive Dean from the Faculty of Theology, and to all the directors, the professors, the subject group leaders, all staff members within the faculty and other faculties, the virtual guests and students, for enhancing the occasion with your presence and sharing our joy as we celebrate Prof. Absalom Ezugwu. Finally, many thanks to Ms. Emma Maletswa and her team, who have worked very hard behind the scenes to ensure that this occasion becomes a memorable success. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for your attention, and I wish you a fantastic evening, a wonderlijke aand. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Kindly stand for the national anthem.
Così si geleri Africa, manu pagani su ponolwayo, Yizwa imitana zo yetu, Gosi si gelera tina musabonwayo, Murena buluka se chavasa Yesu, ufelice tentuale maswenye, usibuluke, si chavasa, Yesu, si chavasa, South Africa, South Africa. Heidi blauw van onze hemel, uit die diepte van ons ziel. Voor ons eeuwige gebergtes, wat die krachtige antwoord geeft. Zelfs de